Well, hello, welcome again to our reading of selections from Plato's Symposium, and I got up to this section here, which is 184c3. So Pausanias continues on now to talk about what kind of love is acceptable between the lover and the beloved. I'll use those terms in this section, so I'm going to use the lover for the erastes and for the eromenos, the beloved. Ne nomis daigar de humin. For indeed, now again is from nomisdo, it has been considered right perhaps, or it has become our custom, or it is lawful, heimin for us, it's almost in our circles. Eantis, if someone ethele might wish. Therapeuo in later Greek, of course, means to heal, but in the earlier meaning of the word, it means to devote oneself to. And you get therapone, a word for a servant, generally a house servant, one who was devoted to their master. So the verb here means to devote oneself to, and then it's taking the object tina. So if someone wishes to devote themselves to someone, hegumenos, thinking that, di ekanon, through that person, and we've got a future infinitive here, he will become amenon, better, than by means of a certain wisdom perhaps, or skill. In other words, he will become better because of that person rather than through some skill or according to any other part of virtue, hotiun whatsoever. So perhaps good conduct or something, so any other area of good conduct whatsoever. Haute au he ethela. Now this is a very rare word. I think it's only here in classical literature. The meaning's very clear though. It means willing bondage. So it's from the ethelo and douleia. So willing bondage. So moreover, this willing bondage, understand, is uk iskra, is not disgrace. Is not to be. He thinks it is regarded not to be disgraceful, nor kolekea, nor an act of flattery. De tonomo tuto. So we get a dual here, and nomos in the sense of principles here, rather than laws perhaps. So it is necessary then sum ballo es tauton. This is for auton, so into the same place. So this is idiomatic here. It means to compare, to put them one beside the other is the sense of it, I think. To place them together in the same place, so to compare. So it is necessary then to compare these two principles, or these two laws. Ton, the one which is in regard to pederasty, so love of boys, and ton, so the principle, this up here, the principle in regard to philosophy, and any other virtue. So it's necessary to compare the two laws, one in regard to philosophy, well, the one in regard to pederasty, the one in regard to philosophy, or any other act of virtue, any other virtuous thing. Mele sum benai kalon genesthai to eraste paidica charidzesthai. Now the subject of the melee is, I think, this articular infinitive here. It's to charisasthai, and so it's the gratification by the beloved to the lover And so it's if the gratification by the beloved to the lover, if it is about sumbene, to come about, you get sumbene, to happen. So if it is about to come about, to be, kalon, a noble act. So the A here is more like whether, so it's sort of like whether or not the act of gratification in respect of the beloved to the lover is about to turn out to become kalon, a noble act. Hotan ga es to auto ethelosi erestes te kai paidica. For whenever the lover and the beloved, paidika here is just being used in the sense of the beloved, the favourite. So whenever they elthosin es to auto, literally something like come together, literally to come to the same thing. So whenever they come together, nomon ekon hekateros, each having his own, well, perhaps principle here, each having his own principle. Now we get quite a difficult little bit, I think, here. We've got two verbs here in participle form. There's hup ereton, which has the sense of to serve. Hup eretes is another word for a servant, or sometimes a lackey. And we've also got hup orgone, hup orgia, or geo, I should say. So it's from hup plus the erg root, and it means to render service. So keeping those two things in mind, and both of these are probably used in an erotic sense. And we've got a hot men, and we're going to get a hot den. So the one, that is the lover, perhaps understand thinking that serving the beloved who is gratifying. So if he does if he serves his beloved who is gratifying him in any way whatsoever, thinking that he would hup eretain, he would serve him justly. Hode, but then we go to the beloved, but then the beloved thinking, thinking that hup ergon, rendering service in any way whatsoever, moreover, to the one making him wise and good, that he does it justly. So the beloved would, thinking that he would serve, he would render service justly in any way whatsoever to the one who is making him wise and good. Kai homen dunamenos es phrone si kai ten alen aretain sum belesthai. So the homen, the one, being able, so this is the lover again, the lover being able, sum belesthai, sum belemai can mean to contribute. It's a common meaning of that in Thucydides, I think, as well. So the one being able to contribute as phronesin to the wisdom or judgment and any other virtue, and the beloved understood, being in need with respect to his education, and being in need to possess also any other wisdom. The grammar there is slightly awkward here with the ace. So some editors delete the ace here, but it is in here, so to try and make sense of it. So the one being in need, I think, with regard to possess perhaps supply tina or something here, the one being in need to possess something in regard to his education and any other form of wisdom. Toti day, at that time then, when this idea of principles here for nomos, when these, this is genitive absolute, so when these principles are come together from sun hiami here, when the two principles meet together in one place, perhaps as tauton. So then indeed, when the two principles meet together in the one place, monaku entartha sumpipte to kalon ainai paidika erastai karisastai alothi de udamu. So monaku, in this instance alone, and goes really closely with the entartha, so there in this place alone, now the subject again here is the I think the karizestai. Well, there's some pipto here in the sense of happens that, it occurs that. So in this place alone, in this circumstance only, it happens that to gratify for the beloved, to gratify the lover, it is a good thing. So just to do that little bit again, so at that time then, when these two principles meet together in one place, in this circumstance alone, it happens that the gratification by the beloved to the lover to be a noble thing, alothi de udamu, but otherwise literally nowhere, but in another place nowhere, in another circumstance nowhere. So in other words, this is the only time when this is kalon, when this is noble. Epi tuto, on these terms, perhaps something like that, on this term, or in this situation also, in no way, it is not a disgraceful thing to be deceived, but in all other circumstances, it's for the one who is deceived, and I think the kai main for the one who is not deceived, it bears shame, so it is shameful. And that is the next section here, and I'll continue this in the final section in the next recording.